Welcome to Innovators and Impact, the number one business podcast in the Bahamas, where each episode we sit down with trailblazers, industry experts, and titans in their own respective fields. And this episode is no different. I have the privilege to sit with a titan of industry in the maritime field. He has well over 2 decades in maritime and logistics. He is the Chief Executive Officer for Octobulk and the Chief Operations Officer for CLX Logistics Bahamas. My guest today is none other than Mr. Ceri Howells. Ceri, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to be here, Ethan.
Now,
Thank you for the opportunity.
no, man, I thank you for agreeing to be on the show. And I have known you in various capacities for many years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was it was so refreshing to see just how you've evolved as a business person, and honestly, just as an individual. But for those who may not be familiar with who Ceri is, I just want you to share a little bit about who you are and what you're doing, and share a little bit about your story.
Well, thank you. Obviously, I have had the privilege to know you for a few years now, good enough amount of years, and it's refreshing too to see that you've noticed the transition in my journey. The first thing I can say is glory be to God. I think that God has taken me along a journey over the past couple of years and allowed me to transition and to grow, in my personal and professional career. So I am like you said already, I'm the CEO of Octobulk, which is an online bulk building supply company and heavy equipment rentals, and also the COO of CLX Logistics Bahamas, which is a company that me and my wife, Brittany, founded roughly about 3 years ago. Shortly after moving back to Nassau from COVID and Dorian, both of us being survivors of Hurricane Dorian, and just coming back to Nassau and sort of seeing a need in the market for a freight forwarder courier services that targeted businesses. So a lot of people don't know what CLX stands for. People always tell me maybe it stands for Carry Logistics, but it really stands for corporate logistics. So what we try to do is try to make shipping for companies a lot easier and try to offer sort of a system that allows them to just have ease of doing business, because it can get complicated importing into any country, but especially the Bahamas from, other places globally. Over the past couple of years, I've had many roles, starting about 20 years ago, coming into the maritime industry, working for some of my family at the Mailboat Company Limited. Started out as a equipment control manager, and then moving on to a dock manager for Dean Shipping, and then just transitioning to different roles. I've worked with shipbuilding companies, companies that actually like build, tankers and, bulk carrier ships, GTR Campbell, and then working along with Secor for a few years prior to me moving back to Nassau also to help me a lot to grow in the industry. So I've had a lot of years of experience, a lot of transitions along it. And really and truly, another thing a lot of people don't really know about me, but I come from a family of mariners. So my grandfather and my great-grandfather owned mailboats. When they were from Auckland's, and my grandfather, I grew up watching him being this hard sailor boat captain, and business owner, and just watching him sort of lead our family sort of gave me that inspiration to get involved in the industry, because he was always an idol of mine. And I didn't know my entry point for it. When I first went to university, I went for international business. Didn't finish that because I got bored out of it really quick.
Right.
And I was like, this isn't for me. And I went to study marine service engineering with the intention of coming back and fixing boat engines. And came back and realized again that wasn't for me, because I didn't like the smell of diesel all day. So got more into the management side of it and just working along with equipment, like I said, with my family. Because I also realized that I'm very structured, and I sort of had a gift, I guess you would call it, of creating structures, and building systems. and which works well in the maritime industry. So that's just a brief overview of my journey so far, and the point that we're at now, and hopefully, God blesses me to continue along this journey and bring some other Bahamians along with me.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, fast forward, like you said, post-Dorian, you said something interesting that you started CLX with your wife. So what was that? Like, were you all at dinner one night and around the kitchen table and you was like, this is something that I want to do? Because we often hear the narrative that, you don't mix family and business. And I think it's admirable as somebody who, works with my wife in business. We have a company together, and she's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. I could appreciate that different management styles or business styles, but what were the interactions between you all two that said, I want us to do this, or we want to do this together?
Well, that's actually another interesting story. When we came back to Nassau, we didn't have a plan. And my wife was studying dentistry. She's almost finished with it, studying at UE down in Trinidad. And I didn't know where to turn. I had an opportunity and I looked around and I knew that I was good at shipping. I was working along with Secor, so I knew a lot about the import and export side of the business. I was speaking to a couple of friends and they would talk to me a lot about their challenges with, how they have to go through so much and they hate going by customs and they hate doing this and, they wish someone could just bring their packages to them. And believe it or not, because me and my wife, we weren't in the position financially where we are now. And I got her a business license for her birthday. And I told her, I said, I don't have much right now, but I say I can make this work. I say, I won't give up on this, I can make this work. And I tell God all the time, I said, just give me the opportunity to be good at this, give me the opportunity to take this somewhere, but not only that, just give me the opportunity where I could bring people along this journey with me, and I've watched this grow from me and her delivering packages in a rental car, to us owning a fleet of trucks and vans and, hiring childhood friends. And to be honest with you, that was a big catalyst for us starting too, because we had some of my friends who grew up with me and, they paused some of the stuff that they were doing to get on board and help me deliver packages and, just help the company to grow, and I will always be forever grateful to them for being a part of the journey and along now as well too. Everyone that's been along with me along this, whether it be a customer, whether it be, somebody that just referred me that doesn't even know me, or whether it be somebody that even just share a Facebook post of mine, I'm just super grateful because so many persons come along with us on this journey sometimes and they don't get the necessary recognition. Like they look at me and they think that, oh, he's built this company alone. Like, no, I didn't. I built this company along with every single person that was with me along the way, whether it was a customer, whether it be someone that shared a post, whether it be my wife, or whether it was a childhood friend.
At Lifestyles Digital Media Group, we specialize in creating compelling corporate content that enhances your internal and external communication efforts.
Our clients come from a cross-section of industries such as banking and finance, healthcare, insurance, and many more.
At Lifestyles Digital Media Group, excellence is the standard.
Our highly skilled and passionate team knows how to produce content that will resonate with your audience and significantly boost engagement rates.
Let us help you tell your story, connect with your audience, and achieve your business goals.
The team here at Lifestyles Digital Media Group would love to help you get seen, be heard, and make an impact. That's awesome, man. And so, because when you talk about post-Dorian, that's 2000, right? 4 years in business isn't a very long time, no. Right? But the fact that within, 4 years, you were able to go from delivering with your wife out of a rental car to now, what CLX is today, what would you say are some of the biggest factors for that tremendous growth and success that you're enjoying today?
Honestly, I would say the clients, and the drive to give good service. I think that and I speak to my staff about this all the time, you have to go and put your best foot forward every day. Persons get very anxious when they ship and stuff because they've already paid their money. You see, the money has already left their pocket. Now they relying on us. They trust in us, and when you hold in someone's trust, you have to be very careful of how you handle it, because once you lose it, trust is so hard to get back. Like you drop someone's trust right now, it might take you another year to get it back. You may end up online. You may end up, just in a situation that's harder for you to repair, as opposed to you just doing what's right and being transparent with persons the first time. And I think that it's very important for us to realize that the persons who got us to where we are is the persons that trust us every day. Not only that, like the staff has been amazing, and just working along with so many persons who have the same vision as you, and understand that, when you speak to them about certain things, you talk to them with a genuine heart and a genuine spirit, and that you actually care about your staff. There's a lot of things that we try to do internally that I've built on bad experiences in previous employers, and I've just literally gone with the mentality that I'm not ever going to make one of my staff members feel how I felt at this point in my life, because I know what it is to not to be in a not a happy place, and I know what it is to work with persons where I felt sometimes oppressed, and I want to give my staff the freedom to sort of, go out there and be their best selves.
It's really good to hear a successful businessman like yourself, because one of the main strategies that we employ for our corporate clients when they say, okay, well, we want to position ourselves as the authority in the space or as the specialist in a particular area, is adding value to the market, not asking them, just giving information. And literally, you came here and explained a major play that a lot of companies, I feel, aren't maximizing, because they always go and they ask, we're having this, we want you to buy this, we want you to do this. But if you provide the market with information, somebody's going to see that. But it does put you in a very strong position to be an expert in your field and have people calling you like they do now, saying that you're number one. So that's very refreshing. Switching gears a little bit, let's talk about Octobulk. What exactly is it, and how is it different from CLX?
Well, Octobulk was a company that I came up with the idea last year, launched it in January of this year. So it's a bulk construction supply and heavy equipment rental company. And the way that it actually was birthed because we had bought all these trucks at CLX, right? And our trucks would only move like once or twice a day. And I would go to my wife and I would complain. I'd be like, boy, we paying these truck drivers a whole day salary and they just sleeping in the truck all day, AC running, living their best life, And I was like, I got to come up with a way to keep these trucks moving. So we do a lot of work. Most of our major clients are in the construction and development industry, real estate industries. And we would move a lot of aggregates, cement and stuff for them. And one of our clients, they were a huge importer of cement and stuff. So I just approached them and I was like, hey, I noticed that you all don't have a retail aspect to your company, right? I was like, I don't want to sell bags of cement, but, let me help you all to sell, them by the pallet. And they was like, well, if you up to it, then go ahead and do it, And we do all of our development and all of our site building, because at CLX, we developed our own software, Hammerhead, which is our transportation management software that powers our organization. A lot of people don't even know that we built all these in-house, because deep down inside I'm a techie, you see. So I have developers who work with us, and we built our own software. And with that, I asked them, I say, hey, can you build me a website? And just thinking of a name, I was explaining to them what I want this website to do. And I was like, I want to have this and I want to do that. And I want to do site watches where persons could view their construction sites remotely. I want to do this and that. And one of my guys who was like, man, you trying to have your hand in everything, and I was like, yeah, like octopus, and from that we just decided to call it Octobulk because we sell bulk construction materials and we deal with heavy equipment rentals. And another thing is that I just went to one of my other clients who rents heavy equipment, and I was like, I notice you don't have a retail aspect to this. You deal with a lot of developments, but there's people out there who just need a backhoe to dig one hole in their yard. There's somebody who just need to move some fill. There's somebody who want to cut a line for a pipe, without having to try to hit up a big construction company. So he's like, run with it. And it sort of just was birthed out of that. And other companies giving me the opportunity to use their resources. And I just put them all into one online platform just to sort of make the ease of business being easier. And it's just, I don't know, it's just sort of blowing up because now we start deliveries at 6 a.m. So, and that's another thing too. I identified a lot of the complaints of the contractors, and this is from the trucking company aspect with CLX, because the guys would be like, can you be the JBR for 8 a.m.? Or I need you to be to this company for 8 a.m., right? And 10 o'clock come, they calling me and they'd be like, hey, we in the line, we waiting to get out of here. They'd be like, oh, but these guys been on the site from 7 waiting, we ain't got the materials. So I said, okay, you know what we can do? We can fix this with Octobulk. We can make it an online platform so you could purchase online. You don't have to send somebody a cash or a check down to any business front. And then we start deliveries as early as possible. So they could order in the middle of the night. We pull the stuff at 5, 6 in the morning when the guys get to work, and we send them out and deliver them on site so that by the time the workers get on site, the material is already there. So a lot of Octobulk was just built on market needs, to be honest with you. And to be honest, another side of being honest is just the opportunity of working along with good industry partners. With CLX and Octobulk, we have a firm belief in its collaboration over competition. With CLX, like we work along with just about every big shipping company around here, whether it be companies like Falco and Freeport or whether it be like ShipX and Nassau. We don't compete with each other. We've understand, and that's what I really love about this younger generation now, is that we've sort of seen where the competition has been so harmful and so cliquish with the previous generation that we've realized that now we could grow these companies to be much larger than they are than with collaboration over competition, and there's enough customers out there for all of us. Yeah. When they have a market need, they reach out to me. When I have a market need, I reach out to them. And it's created like sort of these amazing internal friendships where we now have the opportunity to just continuously work together, and just not compete. And this goes for a lot of the different shipping companies around here, especially the ones that are run by young people. All of us work together in one way or the other. Somebody will call me and say, hey, boy, you have anything coming out tomorrow or today? I have a customer that needs this. Yeah, boy, just send it to my warehouse. I call them, hey, boy, I need something to come in tomorrow. I don't have no flight coming. Send it, And none of us are interested in stealing each other's customers. None of us is interested in, sort of competing and targeting rates and saying, you do it for 50 cents, so I can do it for 25 cents. Or, we just literally just stay in our groove, stay in our lane and collaborate and work together as best as possible. So with Octobulk's success, a lot of the catalyst behind that has just been, number one, identifying the market needs, and number two, just collaborating with other Bahamian businesses, and just realizing that the collaboration over competition is key. It's enough for us here. The Bahamas right now, whether or not people tend to see it or not, but it's really booming. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of development going on. It's a lot of imports coming into the country, and now we focusing on trying to get Bahamians more into the export side of it. Let us start to properly package these products and get them market ready and let them enter into new markets. The States is right there, but there's people right to the south of you who like the same things you like. People in Jamaica like pepper sauce too, You know what I mean? Right. You trying to focus on this place here, but it's so much other stuff going on. And, it's sort of our mission to collaborate with a lot of Bahamian businesses for that. And just continue along with that business model, identifying needs in markets and collaborating with other Bahamian businesses who sort of have the same vision as us.
So Ceri, if people wanted to get in contact with you for whether it's CLX or Octobulk, where could they find you on social media? Or how would they reach out to you guys?
Well, the best way would be if you want to request a service, info@clxnow.com would be the easiest way. But you could also reach out to us. Our offices are in Sandyport and also in Jet Nassau. You could go online, really and truly go in on our website, www.clxnow.com is the best way to sort of get a request from us. And the way that we built our website, like I told you already internally, it's built where you could do everything in there. Once you register, they send you the address. If you have questions, you could chat to us on it. You could call the office. Chanel in customer service is, more than helpful when it comes to, making sure that everyone is good. Jeremy and my entire team, they're very reachable, And if you have any questions, like I always tell persons that, we're not the company that hoards information. You could call me and ask me about another shipping company too. I ain't gonna hang up the phone on you. You could call me and say, hey, I was charged this for duty or XYZ, how do I navigate this, is this right? And I could give advice, how do I export? Yeah, sometimes I tell people, hey, it's easier for you to just go down to Betty K or King Ocean and, load and ship your own pallet. It might be easier for you to do it that way. It'd be cost effective, I mean, we just stand in the gap of the headache for you, like right. We'll ease the process for you, but just about everyone is using the same sort of lanes, so the easiest way to get in touch with us just basically is either to log on to our website and register or just send us an email at info@clxnow.com.
Awesome. Well, I can say I really enjoyed this conversation. It's really good to reconnect with you. And like I told you, off camera, I really am super proud and impressed by how much you've grown in your evolution. And so I thank you for taking the time out to chat with me on the show. And hopefully this is the start of this new reconnection. So
of course.
I'm sure that you're somebody that I can learn a lot from as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you even giving me the opportunity. Like I said, this is my first real podcast, and camera-wise, I'm very much camera shy. I've always been known to be the person in the background, so maybe this is me stepping out of the box, and I appreciate you for giving me that opportunity to sort of step out of the box and possibly help other Bahamians become a little bit more knowledgeable in the industry that I'm trying to push forward.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. We just wrapped up this awesome conversation with Mr. Ceri Howells. And as you can see from the conversation, he is very innovative and he's definitely making an impact. Not just on the maritime industry, but I think on the full business landscape here in the Bahamas. And so if you found value in this conversation, if you found nuggets that you can use on your own personal and professional journey, please leave a comment, definitely hit the like button, and share it with somebody that you think can benefit from this conversation as well. Until next time, I'm your host, Ethan Quant, and thank you for your attention.